How's it going, everybody? It's Terry Barentsen here, the voice and the guy behind the HotLine videos. Wanted to take the time today to share with you the things I use to film a HotLine. This has been a question I've been asked since the first HotLine I uploaded to YouTube. So I held on to the information for quite some time, but now I feel like it's time to share what I've learned over the years and pass it to you guys. So hopefully you guys could produce your own HotLines wherever you are in the world. For my setup, this is what I used. First, you're gonna need a helmet. And the helmet I used was the Bell Falcon with MIPS. It's the black one, has some gray accents on it. Of course, a couple HotLine stickers. Look at that, there's a fly on it. I chose this helmet because of the vents on the top. It's really important to have a center vent on the helmet to place the camera on. I also chose this helmet because it could sit further back on my head. When you start to strap things on your head, you don't want it too far forward because it's really going to start hurting your neck, especially if you're filming some longer HotLines. As you can see, it's got the MIP sticker, got the Hella and the Coast, some old sticker swag from back in the day. And what I did was I put some gaff tape on the center to kind of bridge and create some friction when I put the gimbal on top. And as you can see on the bottom, that's where the screw will go in to hold it in. I'll get to that in a little bit. The next item is the Feiyutech WG2X gimbal. This is a waterproof gimbal, so if it is raining, you can still film and not get worried about messing up your gimbal. This is the second iteration or third iteration of Feiyutech's wearable gimbal, and it's a little bit better because of the angle on it, as you can see there. It's waterproof, like I said, which is a lot better, and just seems to hold up with the GoPro a lot better. On the bottom you can see there's a 1/4 screw, and that's how we will mount this gimbal to the helmet. It's really important to have a secure connection to the helmet. The next item, of course, is the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I'm sure everybody is familiar with this camera. It's nothing new here. This one's pretty beat up, as you can see. It's got a lot of use. I still do own a GoPro Hero 6. That's now my B camera. I use this solely for all the videos. The next item is for sound. This is the Lectrosonics Portable Digital Audio Recorder. And the GoPro is not very good at doing sound. This is where the Lectrosonics steps in and takes care of business. It's small enough where you can attach it to someone you're filming or yourself, or even strap it on your helmet, like I'll show you here in a little bit. It's got a clip on the back. It's got a 5-pin XLR connection to the lav mic. It has an SD card internally, and on the bottom it takes a lithium AAA battery. So it's self-sufficient. It records into itself, and then you sync the audio later with the GoPro. It also has time code if you're into that. There's still flies flying around. It's pretty hot and gross in here. There's where you put the SD card. It's a pretty handy little tool, but it's not cheap. But by far the best investment for the whole thing. I'll show you what it looks like with the power on. There it is. It doesn't have a card, so it's flashing memory. And the next item is it's a 5-pin Countryman omnidirectional wireless round lavalier microphone. Actually, this is a flat one. I couldn't find the name of this one. I'm pretty sure it's a Countryman as well. I know it's a lower end one, but it's still a 5-pin lav mic, which you're gonna need to work with the portable digital audio recorder. So this is what I use to get sound. First thing you're gonna have to do is grab your helmet. And what I did was I put some gaff tape on the center. And what this does is provides a little texture for some bite. As you can see, there's a 1/4 on the bottom with the 1/4 screw. You gotta go to the hardware store to get that. I believe that's about 1.25 inches long. And that's going to screw right into the bottom of the gimbal there. Nice and easy. On the other side of the screw, you're going to use a washer, and that's going to go under the helmet where the tip of the screw goes. And that's basically going to hold some tension on the bottom of the helmet under the MIPS, screw into the gimbal, and hold it on the helmet. So what you're going to want to do is fish the screw and the washer through the helmet under the MIPS. This is hard to film on my own, I do apologize. That's me moving the MIPS out of the way, getting the washer underneath it. There you go, as you can see the screw is free, the washer's underneath. And there's the tip sticking out the top, and that little extra bit there is going to screw into the bottom of the gimbal. Now it's really important that you set up a nice flat surface, so that's what the gaffing tape is for. I tried to make a nice flat surface for the gimbal to rest on because the helmet is curved on top. So put extra tape there on the front end of where the gimbal goes just to give it like a ridge, so it would give it more of a flat surface to pinch down on. And then place it in the center and you kind of screw it in. Just screwing it in with my hands here. There you can see the gimbal is free to move, doesn't move, still not torqued all the way down. Next thing you're going to need is a screwdriver. I believe that's a number 2. And you're going to screw in the rest of it and torque it down. So there we go, trying to give you the best angle possible. Like I said, I'm filming this myself, so it's not the easiest. And just kind of tighten it down and it will screw down and stop. It's the perfect length, 1.25 inches. And there you have it, the gimbal is centered. Very important that the gimbal is where it's at, further back on the helmet, because you want the gimbal to be as centered as possible on your helmet, because you're going to be wearing that riding your bike and filming. Alright, let's get the helmet out of the way and let's grab the Lectrosonics PDR, or portable digital audio recorder. As you can see, there's a 5-pin connection there. And grab your lav, and your lav has the 5-pin connection and the mic on one end. So one end plugs into the recorder, the other end grabs the sound, and they're a working pair. So let's just grab the lav for now, and you're going to want to grab some foam here. And this is a really important step to getting good sound. There's a dead cat there. You're going to want to try to isolate the wind sound, because you're riding in a city. It's more times than not there's some kind of headwind, tailwind, sidewind. It's going to be windy wherever you ride, so you want to cut that down, especially if you're riding fast. You're going to have some wind blowing on your helmet, so you want to get rid of that sound. You want to isolate it, you want to minimize it. So put the foam over it and then put a dead cat over that. I don't know if this is like the correct thing that sound people do. This is just something that I do. I don't know if it's correct, but it works for me. There you go, it's on there nice and tight. And the good thing about this is it's nice and thick now, so it can squeeze right into the helmet, right into the Bell Falcon MIPS helmet, and it'll squeeze right under that plastic bridge on top, right in between that bridge and the MIPS, and it's centered right under where the camera and gimbal are. The next thing you're going to want to do is grab that extra cable and fish it through the back under the MIPS, out the back of the helmet. There you see there, that's the 5-pin connection. Just kind of give it a light tug, and there you go. So now we got the gimbal on, we have the lav mic routed, everything's under the MIPS so nothing's interfering with your head at all, and it's out of the way. Now that we have everything out of the back of the helmet, you're going to want to grab the recorder and place it on the back to kind of counterbalance the gimbal and camera on your head. So I put it on the back there. I feel like that's a good spot, pretty stealth. It sits just right there, but we need to get something to fasten it to it. So what I used was this bongo tie. It's basically just a rubber band with a little wooden dowel at the end of it. If you're in production, you know that these are everywhere. Sound guys have a lot of them, ACs have a lot of them. They're a very common item and they're very cheap. You can find them on Amazon or B&H or wherever your camera or video stores are. So we're going to pull that through the back and fish it through. And you can see that I got it through both ends there. And now I'm just going to tie it to itself so it doesn't fall out. Just like that. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is take the excess cable and tie it to itself. So over, under, over, under. You don't want to damage this cable. It's a pretty pricey microphone, so you want to take care of this. So wrapping it the correct way is very important. And there you have it. It's all tightened up and shortened up to what you need it to be. So take that 5-pin connection in your recorder and go ahead and plug it in there on the right side. Right there. And take the excess cable and put it into the belt loop clip that's provided with the recorder. So it's one little contained unit. It's kind of tight, so it will take a little bit of strength to get it in there. And there you have it. Nice and tidy and neat. Try to find a place to put it on the back there. Yep, just like that. That's gonna be good. And now just loop it through the bongo tie that's already there. And I like to pull the bongo tie to the widest points on the recorder just to give it a real stable connection there so it doesn't jiggle or bounce around on my head. And I like to put the little dowel at the bottom so I can read the screen on the PDR there. And there you go. Nice and clean setup. Got a gimbal and a recorder. Everything's blacked out and pretty stealth-like. Next thing you're going to want to do is remove the screws to the gimbal. It fastens the GoPro to the Feiyutech gimbal. Take these out. Got that off, loosen up the gimbal. All right, so now you have your GoPro here. Just going to face it to the camera. So what you're going to want to do is put the lens of the GoPro closest to the motor of the gimbal. Because the GoPro is heaviest where the lens is, you want to put the heaviest part of the GoPro to the center of the gimbal. That's going to help balance the camera easier and also bring a lot of longevity to your gimbal. You don't want to blow out those little motors. They are very easy to blow out. You can tell once it's centered, that's not centered. So slide it on there, that's not centered. You slide it until it feels about centered, that's close enough. And then lock it on the back of the gimbal and turn it on and you'll see a little double green light and then a blue light. And there you go. Your gimbal is on. And I pretty much film in this generic, like, I think it's called follow mode. It's the first mode that the gimbal is in when you turn it on, and it works best for me. It works great. So yeah, there you have it. That is the Bell Falcon with MIPS helmet, with the Feiyutech WG2X gimbal, with a GoPro Hero 7 Black. And then for sound, I have the Lectrosonic portable digital audio recorder and the Countryman omnidirectional wireless lav mic. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of this stuff, drop me a comment, a like, a subscribe, you know, help me out on the channel. I'd like to share more information on how to film on the bike. So if any of you guys are doing any of these similar style films, I'd love for you to share them with me. Drop me a link or a comment in one of my videos. I try to read them all. So anyways, have a good day. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
So we bring to a close the story of rigid control through the unceasing research and the highest quality.